and welcome to Monday Morning Detective, the podcast. I'm your host, Gino Scala, and this is episode number 55. Today we're going to discuss the strange case. And it's not really a case, it's just what's happening now with this particular person. She goes by the name of Rihanna Bell Brock. She's 23 years old. Caucasian, and she calls herself the Queen of Chaos. She's from Kentucky. She used to be the University of Kentucky student, and she has gained some sort of infamy, internet infamy, by posting her multiple mugshots. Now, when cleaned up, she's somewhat attractive. She's a 23-year-old college-age student. She's not a student any longer. But this girl has been arrested over 10 times. Her crimes have run the gamut from shoplifting to terrorism. And she seems to have enjoyed all of these misadventures. So she takes each of her mugshots, and each one she is smiling ear to ear with a chiclet smile. And she's awfully proud of what she has done. Now, I believe this girl is very short-sighted, not to mention, total idiot. But she's short-sighted in it. It's one thing to commit these crimes and then try to get a job, having to reveal the fact that you committed these crimes. Okay, there are jobs out there for those who have broken the law. There are jobs out there for people who have broken the law several times. But she's not in a position to work a truck or dig a ditch or anything, the hard labor, physical, blue-collar work that a lot of felons end up taking. Could she work a waitress job at a local Waffle House? Of course. But that's going to be her lot in life as long as these mugshots are on the internet. And she's quite proud of these mugshots. In fact, she posts them on Instagram, brags about the crime she committed at that time, and so forth. Now, that stuff doesn't go away. You have to pay many hundreds of thousands of dollars for an expert to get in there and make these go away. And so, now she could very well be a rich girl. She has to have come from some money to have hired attorneys, paid fines, things of that nature. And, if you were to judge her on her looks, she kind of looks like she'd come from a rich family, if one could look that way. But the audacity to take your criminal activity and post it on the internet as a sign of some kind of achievement. Now, your counter argument or your devil's advocate argument could be, well, rap stars and rock stars do this all the time. Yes, they do. And actors and such. But the difference is twofold. One, they normally don't post their own criminal history. That's usually done by the trades. And secondly, they have their own talent that fans pay money to either listen to their music or buy their tickets to their concerts, or in the case of an actor, pay tickets to see their movies. So they have a skill, they have a talent, they have a marketable talent. This person has none of that. She's just a thug. Does she have a shot at becoming a model? Yes. I don't know what her body looks like. These are all headshots. She has an outside beauty. But would you hire a model that promotes her own criminal activity to model your clothes, or to stand in front of your car, or to sell houses and represent your real estate company in the housing market? Could she be a waitress at Waffle House? Yes. Could she work the counter or the cash register at Burger King? Of course. But that's, I believe, is her lot in life, unless she intends only to marry someone with money. And that's quite possible, because I think, as I said, I think she's attractive enough. She may be dumb as a post, but there is a possibility that she'll marry someone with money and be successful that way. I just look at this as a huge cautionary tale. It's one thing if you're going to have a criminal lifestyle. Sometimes people grow out of that, especially at this age in which she's done everything from shoplifting to making terrorist threats, and fights, and fights with cops, and all this stuff. To be honest, none of the pictures look like she's under the influence of either drugs or alcohol. I'm sure that one of the two is part of her lifestyle, but it doesn't seem to be an excuse for that. I wouldn't use those two issues as an excuse for this. I think this was a well thought out plan, at least in her opinion, a well thought out plan of claiming internet fame or infamy. And as a result, I think this is going to severely backfire on this girl. Now, I have no empathy or sympathy for her. She's a thug. She's a criminal. And I don't particularly wish her well. And I doubt sincerely that she's going to get the results of this infamy that she was seeking. Maybe a Dr. Phil show, if he's even still on anymore, or maybe even a reality show down the line. But that's the extent of it. And that is not a lifelong achievement. Anyway, this ends our 55th episode of Monday Morning Detective, the podcast. And this is just a cautionary tale. It's one thing to commit crimes and serve your time and then move on, grow up, and accept responsibility, and then try to make it in the real world. It's another thing to try to capitalize on that kind of criminal activity and in an attempt to find additional infamy on the internet. At least that's one man's opinion. So with that, we'll put a bow on this episode, number 55, and hope to see you next time. Have a great day.